Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomot, and we got some big news going on in the world of UFC today. A bunch of big fights have been announced. Before we start, welcome back to this channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now and the bell so people know when the content is coming. Leave a comment, like the video. Greatly appreciate y'all. And if you didn't know, we got plenty of merch, Combat Corner hats, shirts. See other stuff in the background. I got the TV on because I'm still watching the draft to see what's going on. If this for those of you into football, if Shedeur Sanders gets drafted, this is becoming a crazy story that I will be talking about probably tonight on another video if he does not get drafted tonight. But this is bananas, honestly. But there have been some big fight announcements today, and I'm going to talk about all of them. Obviously the first one that is the big one is this one right here. Fight announcement of Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. They're meeting up at lightweight for the BMF title. I have mixed feelings about this. The fight itself, it's going to be a war. You already know that. It's going to be back and forth. Poirier already has 2 wins over Max Holloway. One of them at 45, the other one at 55. And Poirier pretty much dominated both of those fights. The second fight at 55, he put a beat down on Max Holloway. Didn't finish him, but he beat him down. And Max has since went back to 45, went back to 55 to fight Justin Gaethje. Had that epic knockout in the final 10 seconds of the fight against Gaethje, a fight that he controlled. And Poirier and Gaethje are 1-1, and Gaethje finished Poirier in their last fight for this BMF belt that Holloway then took off of Gaethje. I mean, it's one of these things where, this BMF belt, I am not, it's a gimmick belt. I think we all know that already. Not a big fan of the gimmick belt. I think it should just be left alone and move on. Particularly at this point, because if Dustin Poirier wins, then he's taking the BMF home with him and retiring with it. I don't know. It just seems a little bit much that you're going to put this belt on the line again. Maybe the hope is that he does win the fight and winning that fight retires the belt finally, but who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows? I love the fight. I mean, like I said, I'm conflicted. I love the fight as a fight. It's going to be a great fight, a fun fight, exciting fight. And Dustin Poirier has also come out with this, saying this is his last dance. Okay, so now it's his last dance. What if he wins?
I think you have a
let's take a look real quick right here.
massive announcement to make as well with the city of New Orleans and yourself, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're coming back to New Orleans. The UFC is coming back to New Orleans in July 19th. It's going to be my final fight. I'm going to lay the gloves down in Louisiana where it all started for me. The whole journey started there. And I'm just honored to have the UFC on the same page and the state of Louisiana on the same page to make all this work. I didn't know if it was going to all come together, but it did. July 19th, me and Max Holloway are going to fight 5 rounds, main event, pay-per-view for his current BMF title.
Hell yeah.
Max is a legend. I said legends only. There's not a better guy I can think to fight in my retirement fight. I was his first fight in the UFC back in 2012, and he's going to be my last fight in the UFC. So it's an honor. He's a legend, former champion, undisputed, current BMF champion. So we're going to put on another war.
I think
so. When I look at this fight, do you really believe him? That's the question. Do you really believe that if Dustin Poirier beats Max Holloway, and let's say beats him with a stamp on it, like emphatically beats him, do you really believe Dustin Poirier is going to retire? And that's where I get the confliction, is the conflicting feeling. I get conflicting feelings. Did I say confliction? Is that even a word? Conflicting feelings is that if he wins in a convincing manner, you're really going to retire having beaten Max Holloway? It's these guys are so, it's all so mental to them that I think that if he wins, he might change his mind. Because if he wins, now he can make an argument for one more fight that would then be one more. If he wins over Max Holloway and then wins one more fight, he has an argument to fight for a title again, a real title. And that's where this would be a massive win for him. Now, if Max Holloway wins, then you put your rings, your gloves in the center of the cage, and you move on, and you've lost a step. But when you do this last dance, last hurrah thing, it's one of those things that I don't know. I'd rather you just fight and you make your decision after that. I mean, it's in New Orleans, obviously. He's from Louisiana. That's personal. I think I didn't even realize that Max's first fight in the UFC was against Dustin Poirier. Didn't even think about that. And I do think there's some magic to be had here. So I love the fight as a fight. These guys are warriors. They're going to compete. They're going to throw down. But I hate it when you tell me that this is my last fight. And you guys always want to go out with a win. I get it. But you announcing that, I mean, it puts more pressure on you. Hey, man, whatever. Pressure makes diamonds, right? You know what I mean? So this is going to be obviously an exciting fight, a very exciting fight. It will be for sure. That's on July 19th in New Orleans, UFC 318. You look at another fight that was announced. Once again, we're doing this again. It's like they can't get. Hopefully, this fight goes on. Jamahal Hill is going to face Khalil Rountree Jr. On June 21st in Baku. Is that Azerbaijan? Let's see what happens. I know people do a lot of clowning on Jamahal Hill. Look, the man's good. I think what got him in trouble was his excuse making after, what the perceived excuse making after he lost to Pereira, and then he has since been beaten again. So I think that's a big thing, is that he lost to Pereira, made 1,000 excuses, and then he lost again. So, it doesn't take away from his ability, but it's one of those things where people get frustrated with someone when you don't make excuses, but then all you did was make a bunch of freaking excuses, and now you've lost again. You lost to Yuri Prochazka, and you're gonna try to run it back with Khalil Rountree. This is Khalil Rountree's first fight since he lost to Pereira, and obviously it's a big opportunity for him to jump back into the conversation of being a contender. I mean, that fight was a fight to remember, and there's scars on Rountree's face, I believe, that are still there and will be there forever from that Pereira fight. So expect this one to be a good fight. Absolutely expect this one to be a good fight. That's on June 21st in Azerbaijan, in Baku, Azerbaijan. And then you jump into these other fights that were announced also on June 21st. Rafael Fiziev against Ignacio Bahamondes. This is going to be serious, bro. This is going to be a serious fight. You had Fiziev jump in on late notice to fight Gaethje in a really close fight. Bahamondes is a great prospect. He's 17-5. He's in the UFC. He's got 3 straight wins. His last one was a big win over Jalen Turner. He is overall 7-2 in UFC events. One of those events being the Dana White Contender Series. He has wins over Roosevelt Roberts, Rong Zhu, Ludwig. He lost to Ludwig Klein, Christos Giagos, Manuel Torres, and Jalen Turner. He is an up-and-coming prospect. 6'3", very, very long. Wonder how Fiziev deals with that puzzle. Fiziev hits hard as hell. Yeah, man, this is gonna be a banger. Fiziev is gonna bring the heat, and obviously now he gets to get trained, so he is training. So he's not gonna come in out of shape because he was clearly out of shape in that fight against Justin Gaethje. But this one right here, let's talk about this, man. This one's big. This one's big. It's funny. This is on June 14th in Atlanta, UFC Atlanta. It's the headliner. And on the also on this card is Rose Namajunas and Miranda Maverick. Let's look at this, man. This is big time. Joaquin Buckley just put a beating on Colby Covington, won their fight pretty clearly. Colby has a lot of reasons. Dude lost. Like, bro, you lost. Kamaru Usman has lost 3 straight fights. 2 to Leon Edwards and 1 to Khamzat Chimaev. The one to Chimaev, he came out on real late notice. This is going back to 170 he's fighting. Buckley is on the come up. It would be real interesting to see what Buckley does if Usman has anything left in the tank. He's still shredded. The guy's still ripped. Does he wrestle or does he try to throw hands with Buckley? If he tries to throw hands with Buckley, Buckley's going to put him out. I think we saw a bit of the Buckley power against Colby Covington. I mean, Buckley got power, but he's quick, really quick. And does Usman still have speed? Is he still fast enough? Can he move quickly enough? Usman has to wrestle, but also we saw with Colby Covington. Colby Covington couldn't get this man on the ground. The man's incredibly strong. He struggled to get him onto the ground. So I think this is going to be a big, big fight. It's a big fight for both guys naturally, but for Buckley, it's massive because he's ranked 6. Usman's still ranked 4th despite having lost 3 straight. And we will find out if Usman's feet are good, knees are good, how he moves. I think you'll know rather quickly how what his reality is in the first round. Because if Buckley's able to tag him early because he can't move the same, it could get ugly. As we saw with Colby Covington, it got a little ugly. It got ugly in there. And it is a bit. There was a video that Usman did with Henry Cejudo and Israel Adesanya, and they're saying, champion, we all been through a lot, and we're all 0-3, Cejudo says, and they're all laughing. Because you know what? When you can finally hit that point in your life when you can laugh at yourself and say, yeah, man, we're all 0-3, but you know what? Fuck that. We made a fuckload of money here. We've been champions. I mean, like this is, we've been to the top, man. Eventually, you're going to come back down, man. It is what it is, unless your name is John Jones and you don't fight for half of the last decade. I do believe if John Jones had fought more consistently, he would have been beaten at some point by now. I thought he lost multiple fights, actually, but the fact of the matter remains, they can laugh at themselves and like, oh, yeah, we've been beat, man. And Usman still tough as hell. But I'm curious, is that first round thing will tell you a whole lot. Because if Buckley is able to catch him, you want to see what Usman's chin can take. Getting older, man. That's what it is. You get older, bro. But this is on June 14th in Atlanta. These are 4 huge fights. Excited for all of them. Again, June 14th, June 21st, and July 19th with Holloway and Poirier 3. And of course, tomorrow night you have big card with Ian Machado Gary and Carlo Paredes, Anthony Smith and Zhang. The Machado Gary Paredes fight is a big, big fight for purposes of who's potentially up next. Even though Machado Gary just did lose to Shavkat, He says he's going to be in freaking wherever they're fighting that next fight. I think it's in Canada. But wherever it is. He says he's going to be there, and he's going to be he's planning on being the backup. You got to win tomorrow, though. Tomorrow's going to be a big time fight. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about these matchups, especially the Holloway fight, the Holloway Poirier fight. Love to know what your thoughts are. Usman Buckley, love to know what you think about that one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I appreciate y'all. This is Combat Corner. Come on now.